Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the afternoon of Convention Day 2, 2026, and we're here with the one and only Michael Barrett from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes. I'm impressed I still remember that. So anyway, Mr. Barrett, we have thousands of conservatives from across the country here at Convention. It's being billed as one of the biggest ever. What do you say to Canadians right now at this point in Canadian history where, we have so many problems in Canada and people just don't know what to do? Like, they need to get involved, don't they?
Yeah, it's great to be in Calgary with you and with conservatives from across the country, and that's really an important thing to keep in mind. This isn't just where we're getting together with folks in this great city of Calgary. This is from all 343 electoral district associations sent delegates, the Conservative Caucus, and we are discussing the future of Canada's conservative movement. And this is where the discussions happen. And we're in this big hall here, and there's dozens and dozens of just little groups connecting and exchanging ideas. What's going on in their communities, and for all of the challenges that we have as a country, we have so much opportunity and so much to be excited about. But we can only harness what Canada has to offer if people invest, and I mean not with their wallets, with their time, and invest in something that you believe in, and that's what people do as part of the conservative movement, and so this is a really important opportunity, and it's a great example, and there's people here of all ages. It's a lot of fun, but it's important.
Yeah, we actually met a 17-year-old girl from high school that was a delegate yesterday, and just to see youth as young as that getting involved in politics, that makes us really hopeful for our future. But we need people of all ages to get off their couches, get out of their homes, and get involved in local politics, and that's the way we're going to carry forward. Now, the great thing you mentioned is we're deciding on policy, and that means there's voting, there's discussion, there's debate, and it's refreshing to see again people discussing things, debating things, and voting on things, and not being at each other's throats. That's really what conservatism is all about, isn't it?
Well, this is it's so funny that you mentioned that. We have these discussions in here, and people have deeply held views about a range of issues, and I mean on everything from governance of the party to we were just debating something about the ethics, stronger powers for the ethics commissioner, in fact. But there's always a counterpoint to everything, and that's what makes an idea stronger, makes a policy stronger, is when it comes through that process. But there's no brawls or Donnybrooks. There's no one screaming at each other here. People are respectfully engaging in the policy development process. And let's keep in mind, conservatism, it's a big tent party. There's all kinds of people like to hyphenate their type of conservatism or our type of conservatism, and we're conservatives, and what that means is different to people, but what we all have in common is that we love our country so much. We want to work together to make it better, and that's what people are doing here.
And lastly, we're approaching the magical hour, the final vote for Pierre Poilievre, to see if he still has the confidence of the room and the nation. We're hearing all good things. What are you hearing?
Look, it's been a privilege for me to serve in the Conservative Caucus for more than 7 years, and there's been a few leaders in that time, and I've served as a caucus colleague of Pierre Poilievre throughout. I've had the opportunity to work with him on committee and to do all of the prep work that's involved for hundreds of hours, and so I've got a chance to get to know Pierre, and I think a lot of Canadians have as well, and that's why I think that tonight's really important vote is going to go well for him, because Pierre is here representing the hope of Canadians from across this country that he's met in Legion halls and church basements and in arenas, in coffee shops and on the street. And I don't go far in my travels as an MP or just as a Canadian without running into someone who said, "Oh, I waited in line to talk to Pierre, and he stood there for hours to make sure that he spoke to and heard from every single person." or I saw him out with his family, and he's just a regular guy. Pierre Poilievre is a man who loves this country, who has the courage of his convictions, and wants to restore the promise of Canada. And when I talk to people at the convention here, for all that's going on in the world, you turn on the news and there's a lot that you see all of the things that you can be worried about. And they're very hopeful. They're very hopeful because they know that Pierre Poilievre can restore the promise of the greatest country in the world, Canada, and he's going to do great tonight. And we're going to carry that forward to hold the government to account and to win the next election for Canada.
Thank you very much for your time, sir, and have a great rest of the convention.